This video is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code MHB at checkout for 10% off your next order. Spider-Man 2018 is the game that got me back into trophy and achievement hunting back in 2022, after almost a decade out the game. I know, a lot has changed since then, and because of that, of course I was picking up Spider-Man 2 day one, and we were getting that platinum no matter what the trophies had in store. Luckily for us, we were in for basically the same sort of platinum experience as the first Spider-Man, if not even easier. As always, I'm not going to be talking about main story details because trophy-wise, it's not relevant, and it's something I wouldn't want to spoil for anyone at any point anyway, because for a Spider-Man fan, I'll be honest, this shit will have you straight coming.
Today, I'm gonna bust a nut on camera.
You'll experience that for yourself is what I'm trying to say, and what a hell of a ride it is. But trophy-wise, there is nothing missable to worry about as you can do everything else after the credits roll. Which is exactly what I did, just beelined it through the story, rock hard the whole time, and unlocked the 9 guaranteed trophies along the way. Not a lot of guaranteed trophies for simply playing the main game, but as always, before we hit the credits, I unlocked a few more trophies along the way through the combat. Before we get to that though, we did smash out 2 trophies related to Spider-Man's aerial tricks. One for being absolutely sick with it and doing 30 tricks in a row before touching the ground, and the other for, well, being garbage. Nice and easy, just goof around from mission to mission and you can knock those out. Same sort of deal with the combat trophies. We need to snag 25 takedowns with the web line, a great new stealth gadget that allows way more freedom to stay hidden. Use Miles' reverse flux ability to pull 6 enemies in at once, which I got literally as soon as I unlocked the ability. Defeated 100 enemies with evolved venom abilities, which I mean pretty much a given. And defeated a symbiote under the influence of anti-venom, which again, a given I'd say.
Whoa, what is this?
But that was the main story done and dusted, step 1 complete, and really just leaving us with the bulk of this platinum journey, 100%ing the game. Now, I didn't really have a plan of attack here in the beginning. Common sense says to make your way through each of the 14 districts and complete them one by one, which is what I ended up doing eventually. I was much more sporadic in the beginning, just sort of being like an easily distracted puppy, swinging around New York and just sort of going to what was nearby at any given point, which actually led me to some of the more obscure trophies like finding Miles and Finn's science trophy from Miles Morales, or going for a brisk jog around the Babs. I can't say the name, it's terrible.
The spiders win.
And probably the most challenging trophy in the game, except not really once you learned the path, saw for using only our web wings to glide between 2 faraway lands. You can use wind tunnels, and honestly that's all you use. It's a breeze to grab this one.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm gonna pop all the mission-based trophies now because they're not that interesting to talk about. You've got to help set up a homecoming proposal, photograph and video the school for an ad, and save the museum from shutting down by finding the stolen items. It's all sort of meh. The museum stuff isn't bad, but all the Brooklyn Visions content is straight garbage. However, we love a new suit and some trophies to boot, so there is that. The first proper bit of side content we did complete since we were playing as Miles was Mysterio's challenge rooms. These illusions have gone wrong, trapping people inside, and as Miles you need to defeat a certain amount of enemies within a certain time, or without taking damage, or with a certain method of attack. These are a lot of fun and can be a hell of a challenge depending on the map layout, the extra challenges, and whether you want that sweet gold medal of course. These are a blast, and that boss battle with Mysterio, god damn was that a badass fight. But it was at this point I hadn't played as Peter in a hot second, so we finally saw what our boy Pete was up to, and we had to visit Aunt May's grave. Pay our respect. Despite my dumbass thinking, who the hell is May Parker? As if the gravestone would say Aunt May on it, but never mind that. Now with Pete, I finally decided you know, it's probably better to break all these objectives down district by district rather than doing every hunter's camp or sandman memory or whatever. It's just too much back and forth for no real reason, and this way it actually mixes the gameplay up. Who'd have thunk it? So while I was mixing it up and chipping away at everything, I did manage to finally unlock the final 2 combat trophies through the hunters camps and symbiote nests by defeating 100 enemies with Peter's spider arm abilities, and while using the symbiote surge or Venom Super Saiyan, use your symbiote powers 25 times. Nothing really to explain here, just beat the crap out of enemies with your spider arms and spam your venom abilities when you go berserk and you'll knock them out. Now while I was being that sporadic puppy in the beginning, I was doing a couple of objectives along the way whenever I'd stumble across them, and the target identified was definitely one of them. These missions are such a blast as you chase down these vulture drones using their slipstream to glide around the city at blistering speeds. So much fun, even if sometimes the adrenaline can wear off on some of the longer chases. But what an ending! I did not expect a chameleon appearance in here, but I love it. A bit of a letdown after this though, but I did complete the Prowler stashes with Miles just after. Not much going on here outside of scan the environment for something to pull other than your Winky. Fucking stupid. It was around this point I'd finally accumulated 10,000 tech parts, which are vitally important for all the upgrade trophies. Just make sure you unlock the suit tech upgrade to mark tech crates on the minimap. You'll thank me later. Speaking of which, finally purchasing our final tech suit upgrade not long after, I played one of the most depressing missions in the game by helping Howard. He wanted his pigeons to find a good home, and predictably he is no longer here when we return. One objective I was doing basically anytime I would be close by was the photo ops. I don't know what it is, but seeing what crazy things are going on around here was fun to stop and take a quick pic. It was from this point where we started to smash through the final few districts, finishing the last remaining objectives like clearing out all the hunters bases, which are a lot of fun to either completely stealth through or go balls to the walls and just annihilate everything in sight. Piecing together Sandman's memories, giving some backstory into the beginning of the game with some really simple combat encounters. I mean, Miles is the Sandman's worst nightmare with his electricity, but feels worthwhile to stick through to the end. But by far, the side story that I expected nothing from was the flame missions. These are satisfying combat encounters and a good threat to have Spider-Man saved the city from. And then to learn it was all to reveal Carnage, I damn near nutted at the thought. My jaw hit the floor and this skyrocketed to being my favorite of the side content real quick. Oh, and I also reached level 60 after that finale as well, and purchased my final gadget upgrade with my goodies from a job well done. Next thing off the list, we finally cleared out all the symbiote nests, which brutal encounters if you don't stay on top of everything. If you can keep the projectile enemies away, then you're in a good spot, but let them swarm and you're in trouble. Great battles though, and a lot of fun to complete. The friendly neighborhood Spider-Man missions though are interesting. They're not my favorite in terms of gameplay, despite loving this side of the character and the stories you stumble across, like giving this blind woman a guide machine dog since she's allergic to regular dogs. But overall, not my favorite, similar to the EMF stuff. Just not what I look forward to playing, even though again, it's good to see that side of Peter Parker. The final puzzle though, holy hell did it make me feel like a caveman. I was struggling. However, with all of those missions done, I finally had enough cash to purchase all the suits in the game, which I mean, these are all so damn awesome. Highlights definitely go to the Spider-Verse ones for the animation alone. Toby and Andrew's suits gotta be worn at all times though, with Mysterio for Miles. I did think you needed to buy all styles though, but I don't think that is the case. One thing left to do, and Spider-Man 2's Platinum was mine. Unfortunately, this was not something I was doing along the way in the main story, and this was a time sink. finding all the spider bots was definitely one of those collectibles that feels like a collectible. A bit like the backpacks in the first game, but even harder to find sometimes. I mean, I was swinging up and down some of these districts just hoping to catch a glimpse of something. I'm just thankful the crimes aren't a part of the 100% requirements anymore though. I'll take the spider bots any day rather than repeating the same damn crimes over and over again. But I did finally manage to find my last spider bot, finally 100%ing every district in the game, and once I turned them all in, unlocked the trophy for completing the Spider-Bots quest, and the platinum for Spider-Man 2 was mine. So after 24 hours in total, what did I think of Spider-Man 2's platinum and the game in general? I mean, where do I even begin? As someone who has literally grown up with Spider-Man across all mediums since I was 3 or 4 years old, Insomniac just knows what levers to pull to get me to feel like a kid again. It really is a childlike excitement with the reveals of characters, how they act in the game, how seamlessly you sink into the role of Spider-Man, both Peter and Miles. This was my favorite game I've played all year. It's not perfect, it does have some rush moments and can be visually a little buggy, but I didn't want to put my controller down the entire time, and DLC, sequel, whatever, I'm ready for more and have all the faith in the world that Insomniac can do the same with Wolverine next. Platinum wise, I can easily see this being a game that is platinumed more often than not, even getting those otherwise uninterested in such things into the hobby or way of playing games. It's a very natural trophy list, and whilst I may not be like, hell yeah, I platinum Spider-Man 2 in terms of it being a challenge or difficult, in terms of a game, this is a must platinum type of game. You won't regret it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. What? Spider-Man 2 was incredible. Who would have thought that? Make sure if you did enjoy the video to leave it a like because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below some more platinum suggestions. Any other new releases you want to see get platinumed? Thank you to all my channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to those in the Bear Club, G&T Puppy, Jackie White, Nugget, and Dark Wolf. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, go give my socials a follow if you fancy at MayorHairBear, join the Discord server to have a chat, go and chuck me a follow on Twitch if you want to see these platinum journeys live, and I'll catch you all in the next video.